Sometimes there's spots that are, and you have to wipe them and come back to them in a second so that they can soak a bit. And if you try to stay and solve them right away rather than taking a moment to let them degrade through the water, you end up being more frustrated than you need to be. You resist something that's already in flow, let it soak a bit, but then there's this point where you can go too far with putting things off. You have to find that sweet spot where the flow flows. Because if I leave long enough, the table will just get dry and hard again. All the little chunks of food that we all do on the table. So, the table's clean now. And that was really dirty actually, so actually kind of okay, so we're gonna set you in here. I'll go get your mic. Alright, and then we're going to cut up the apple. I'll take this really quick. Hold on. We're just gonna cut up all the apple. She likes to eat the whole thing. Like, she holds on to this. Look at that. And she likes to eat super early, like annoyingly early. And my pregnant fiance likes to sleep in because she's pregnant. And she's just, I don't know. I noticed a lot of girls are kind of more sleepier than me. Any girls in my life. Except for my mom, she's more go. But even then, she knew when she needed to rest. To an extent, she's learning as we. That's better. Okay, at least the pan is clean. Having a wire brush makes the pan clean and clean more often. Otherwise, you have to soak things for so long, and I don't really know how people do it without scrapers and without wire brushes. I guess they have those non-stick. What do you want? What do you want? You all done? You want the lemon? No? Okay. What do you want? You want to come out and pick you up? Indy, you want to watch me cook these eggs? We're doing eggs. We're doing, I think, 6 eggs, Indy. And I usually eat 4 eggs. And I usually eats 2. And then baby usually eats 1. But since baby's growing, I'm starting to work out more and get bigger. And Kenna's pregnant. She ate like, I think 3 or 4 eggs yesterday. So that's how you know that we're having a baby. She's making a baby in her belly. And then we're starting a piece of bread. I've been more sore lately because I'm working on my body a lot. And then I also have like tension soreness from working and stress and unprocessed that I'm processing. And then I also have a lot of like imbalances that compensated and sustained and were allowed to get out of hand. Not keeping things in check with my mind and my body. And I was just very much letting my thoughts control my mind and my body. My perceived reality that my thoughts were coming from was from a state of fear. And the perceived reality from your whole mind, your awareness included, is much more logical, positive, but also just realistic. Like there's stuff that comes up that isn't just all good and Buddha smiling. There's also really hard things to process, but it's way easier to process when you're able to activate the side of awareness and not just the side of survival. Because that's what thoughts are, these ways to process things and protect ourselves, predict danger. But all of our dangers have become hidden. It's in the long chronic risk. That's where our humanities were chosen as far as where we have struggled figuring out. We used to have health problems and major violent societal problems. We still have turmoil and volatility, but I've been studying medieval history and the laws that were considered reasonable. Here, let's blow on it real quick. You'd be fine, but good to learn. Good job. Yeah, pretty good. Things were considered pretty acceptable that are now absolutely, they'd be front page news across all social media. In the medieval times, it was okay to sentence 7-year-olds to death, and definitely 14. No country where that's okay. So we look at humanity and we think that we've done such a bad job. We need so much work. And I would say, yes, we do need work, but we've come such a long way. And when it comes down to it, there's been major shifts that have allowed our humanity to become less violent and more innovative, and we discovered democracy. And we're discovering ways where we can live way far beyond tribal means and live as a global society. And there's things we have to learn and unlearn to get there. And so it all depends on each individual's path. And so this book, Your Path, is basically about how if you do this and I do this and we help others do this, this is the path for humanity. But we have to work together and we have to see reality not just from a state of fear, but we have to see reality through our awareness that is positive and hopeful, but realistic, and it's helpful, and it's reality. So when it comes to politics, we think, whose side are you on? And what I would say instead of whose side are you on is, how do we solve this? And if it becomes a dialogue instead of a debate, and it becomes center focused on acknowledging where we're at and where we need to be, taking responsibility, holding accountability. Our definition of justice is accountability, and there's things that we need to protect people from. But we do what's best for people as a whole and for people as individuals, and we work together to find solutions. So if we have a problem, whether it's corrupt leader, weird election rules, things we're doing that are harming the environment, things we're doing that are harming the economy and people's well-being, we come in and we start dialogues and discussions about those things, and we create spaces for those things to be returned to by anyone and contributed to by anyone. And there's still leadership and there's still hierarchy, but we're working to make it just more equitable, but more realistic and logical. And so we don't even discuss or debate with the current way of things. We just let people know this is where we're doing this, and this is what needs to happen, here's why. And it's trusted because we work really hard to make sure that we are being real. And where things need to be protected, we are super secure, top tier defense. But when things need to be open and when it makes sense for transparent, which is very often, we make sure that it is felt, that it's not some act or parsed and modified data. There's no Adobe Premiere Pro metadata in the video that we give you, which is an editing tool, not the real thing. It was edited. It's been tampered with. And so if, for example, we ever did anything like that as a government and as a system, that would be an issue. It would be exposed, and we would work on responding to it and resolving it. And so it's to say that we would make mistakes, but we would do our best not to, and if the mistakes are made, we'll fix them. And there's no debate. That's all logic. We fix things and we work together to make it as logical as possible, and we try to hear everyone, and we prove ourselves through our results. So that's what I've been dreaming up. You full, or you want some apple again? Apple? Or you want to get out? You done? All done? Yeah. And then I'm also trying to learn how to be a good parent. And I've been thinking, my daughter gets really riled up. Like, she, like, frustratingly screams or purrs. Like, when she can't figure something out. Like, the French doors to the deck. She, couldn't close because there was a towel in the door. It's okay. Here, let's dry you off. You want to dry you off? Right here. Here, sorry. Come over here. Want me to dry you off? Here, let's get your face. Sorry, I forgot to get your face. All done? So she's frustrated about things she can't figure out, and then she also whines when she doesn't have what she wants. And she uses it like a remote, so it's like, I want that thing, I'm gonna make this noise to get it. And there's also like an emotional force behind it, for sure, but it's like a kid tactic. It's part of their nature. And so I have to navigate that by being like, all right, you're okay. Okay, also you're whining and kind of faking it, so that's okay. But also, what do you need? And is it okay for you? So it's like learning how to parent. And then not trying to be the parent that's like, what's wrong with her? What do I do? And also not trying to be the parent that's like, Indigo, I can't deal with this right now. Oh. Are you ready to take her? Because it's my birthday. I had to watch her for 2 hours. I don't know, it felt like 2 hours. That was a lot though, but it's fine. It was fun, it was good. It was good, but she's at like a interesting chapter. I just couldn't work all morning. But we created and we thought about stuff. Yeah, breakfast is ready. So yeah, gonna work on that. I added it to my typo for today. Parenthood, do I have a Parenthood page? It's in my book, Humanity on Family and Relationships. New page, open, Parenthood. And I'm gonna go to building products, and then I'm gonna talk about being an entrepreneur in tech, because I don't really know much else. And so I don't know if it's as broad as all entrepreneurs, but we'll see. And you know, I'd actually go not to building products. I would go to business and wealth, and then I'd have a new page called being an entrepreneur in tech. And then I'm gonna do, when you type in technology on emojis, there's such a limited amount of options. And it's all old stuff. It's like satellite, film, projector, like an iMac 2009, and a mouse. I'm like, where's the like modern tech? Speaking of, I'm gonna go to my emoji library feature and add futuristic technology. We already have in our emoji pipeline like humanoid robots and robotic arms and microchips. And we need more like nature scenes. And I have cave, juniper pine, Joshua tree. Ooh, blue pine flower for dad. Okay, being an entrepreneur in tech, and then I'm gonna go back to journey. Now I have to think of what I was gonna say with being an entrepreneur in tech. How can I transcribe this? Oh, my grandma sent me a really nice birthday message. I can't wait to read it. It looked really genuine. You must go from level 1 to anyone in entrepreneurship, really. It's like you must go from level 1 to level 2, and even before. You must learn what level 1 for you is, then go from level 1 to level 2, and so on. In the same way, you must build a true MVP that evolves step by step, bit by bit to V1. A lot of your ideas are V6, but prepare and dream them up in a features database of some kind. You won't regret it. You need the full map/vision to build the proper foundation and find the proper bridges, necessary bridges. Cool. And in the same way, your life must reflect the person you are and wish to become. And you must work for it. And you must work for the two, the being and the becoming. And then in the same way, as you walk the path, you give effort to be there. You will find serendipities and winds that show you what. So, and in the same way, as you walk the path and give effort to be there, you will find serendipities and winds that show you what routes might lead you to the source. The seed of your mission, true purpose, true vision, true action lies there.